CMOS. Whoa, hey, whoa. What's up? Right now, we're just going through everything. We just reseated RAM and pulled the CMOS battery out because it's not we're getting a CPU and a RAM error, which is weird because I didn't reseat the CPU at all. I didn't change the RAM at all. Tested the entire thing, had no issues with it, and now all of a sudden it just doesn't want to boot. So we're gonna try booting it without a GPU. I've reseated the RAM. We're also clearing CMOS, so we're gonna give it a shot. See if that works. So we will see. Okay, CMOS battery is back in. We're gonna re-plug it up here. Okay. We're gonna try it with, put my wife's stuff over there. Okay, and then we're gonna try it now. Okay. There it is. So we still have our lights issue. So am I famous? No. So we still have our lights issue. This is quite strange. I don't know why if I was in Squid Game 7. I don't know why this is happening. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Thank you for the sub, I appreciate it. Hi, Zoster. We're gonna let it run for a minute and see if this is just memory training, it shouldn't be memory training because the CPU light and the DRAM light are on. So it usually means it's a problem. But I don't know what it could be. Maybe not the usual. We're getting unpredictable. Okay. Huh. I don't really know what could be causing the issue because I tested the entire setup prior to moving it into this PC. When I tested it, it ran fine. I had no issues whatsoever. I've moved it, and now I'm having a DRAM and a CPU light. And I didn't remove either of those components. So I have no idea. Trying to think of anything that I could have done wrong while I was building it, like rebuilding it. Audio's plugged in, USB's plugged in. I never took the CPU out. The cooler was just fine. Didn't do anything crazy with that. Check it again. So we'll try it. Okay, I've removed the RAM, I've switched it around. It's in the primary slots, the ones that it wants, and these were the slots that the RAM worked in previously. So we'll try it though. Okay. Oh, hang on. This might be it. It doesn't look like the RAM is seating completely. So, because I just looked and I could see some of the pins right there, so I'm going to try setting it back in here again. See if it's just a RAM issue. That was much better. Did I open both sides? If they're also lay the PD down, put even pressure. I appreciate the advice. I'm thinking that it was these DIMMs not being seated properly, because this motherboard, for some reason, they're very, very difficult to put in. I haven't had this occur before. That was much better. That was much, much, much better. Okay, so let's try it again. See the lights up here? Still getting this error. Oh, there we go. High five, everybody. It's just a RAM seed issue. That was it. That was it. All right. We're gonna let it memory train real quick because this is a new. CMOS is cleared. Yep, cool beans. We'll let it run configurations real quick. Yeah, where is the RGB? That's weird. We'll just let it run through real quick. Because I gotta throw the GPU back in anyways, so. Really glad that worked. That's all it was just a dim issue. Dim-witted. Ha! Get it? Okay, that's set, that's set. It's good. 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 The case does look very empty. It's designed with a lot of space in mind, and this PC just doesn't have a lot of stuff. Is this my PC? No, this is for my wife. I need to get her another M.2 right here and fill in probably some more SSDs. And no, dear, no AIO, because Corsair uses proprietary plugs and requires you to use their hub in order to make their AIOs work. You can't just plug it into a fan header. I should have used the ATX board. Well, I got this board for very cheap, so I'm good with it being slightly smaller. Okay, now we're going to shut the PC down. Maybe not the usual, getting unpredictable. Okay. Once the fan stops spinning, we'll throw the GPU in. Am I a builder? I mean, I would consider myself a PC builder. Yeah, I can. Gosh, I've built one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 10 or so PCs, something like that. All right, let's throw. I miss EVGA. I wish they still made cards. Made some of the best cards. Too bad NVIDIA can't do business well. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, get this slotted in. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, now GPU is slotted. Let's put the other little cover on. Easy money. There it is. Okay. Perfect. People say that EVA didn't actually want to make GPUs anymore. That's why they aren't partnering with AMD or Intel Arc. I don't know, man. I think EVGA was perfectly happy to keep making NVIDIA GPUs. And I think NVIDIA squeezed that life out of that company, making them suffer and not able to turn a good profit. And because of that, they're like, we're done. You know, they're just going to go back. You would love to see my wife because she deserves me. Well, I appreciate that. You can look her up. Her socials are all ice in her eyes. ICEINEYES. Ice in her eyes. Anyways, let's fire this up. Oh. This is what I get for trying to talk to chat. I forgot to plug all the PCI Express in. Yeah, girl, get comfortable. About to do something you never done before. Alright, and let's take a look back here. Did anything come unplugged for the RGB? I'm not seeing anything that came unplugged for the RGB. Why not partner up with AMD or Intel? Probably easier for them to just keep doing what they were doing, or they might have a contract with NVIDIA that, you know, if they stop making NVIDIA GPUs, then they have to wait X amount of years to work with another company so that they don't, you know, share secrets or anything like that. You know, kind of like an NDA. Is that a Batman helmet or other? Batman helmet. You talking about that up there? It's Batgirl. Yeah. Is this a gaming room? It's more of a cosplay room. I built it for my wife. Anyways, let's look at some of these. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, RGB this time? Nope. That's quite strange. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. It was a lot of work. I cannot believe. What's that picture up on the wall? These pictures right here? With the sunset, that one right there? That's of me and my wife. Why no RGB? Did I connect the RGB? I did. So actually the back of the PC is still open. And I'm looking at the RGB hub. Yeah, the controller. And I don't see anything obviously wrong with it. LED lights. It is connected to the PSU. It is. I'm wondering if I missed an RGB header, if in the tangled mess that's behind there, one of the RG, but no, it was on just a moment ago. So something would have had to have happened. Let's try this. Let's do this real quick. We're gonna steal. Oh, that's why. This is a 3-pin RGB setup. There we go, right here. Should be it. So something happened with the controller. You want to see the back of the PC? I mean, it's ugly, but sure. Yeah, it's wherever the feed for the RGB is coming from. I'm wondering if it's power in. That's key. What's this? These are all the fans, okay? Is this splitting off? Is that what's going on? No, here. Here, okay. Let's see what's happening on the other side. Okay, so that's not it. Yeah, what's strange is that I see all of these RGB here, right? But I'm not seeing where the RGB controller gets its signal from. Because typically you have a header that comes off of this and goes to the RGB header. Typically is how it's done. These are all sealed. Okay. We might be onto something here. So we got one fan. Is it true that I have a kid? Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, Swagger, is like I'm not seeing anything that comes from the motherboard on this setup. This is all a power bus, or well, you guys, this is all power here according to the labels on the daughter board. And these are all, everything else is just lights, and these are all fans. And just by unplugging and replugging, I got one of the lights to turn on. So I'm not really sure what the malfunction is. So what I'll do is I'll pop these up. See, look, like that one just came off. And now when I plug that one in, two lights turn on. Here, I'll explain it to you, Diego. So it's real simple. So now you can see these two fans have lit up, right? So when I unplug one cable, neither of them turn off. I don't know why, but that, when I plug that cable in the first time, these both turned on. So now I'll remove this one. The bottom one turned off. I plug it back in, nothing happens. See, it's very strange. Now I unplug the last one, both turn off. All three are now plugged in, none of the lights are on. Doesn't really make much sense. It might just be a garbage RGB controller. That one turned on, but it's only green. Now when I unplug it, it stays. Oh, the problem is the fans. So watch, I have everything unplugged, right? I plug one in, nothing happens. Plug two in, one fan turns on. Plug three in, this one turns on but green only. Doesn't make any sense. So now watch, this is the interesting thing. This just turned on, so I'll unplug that cable. It's unplugged, as you could see there, but that fan still stayed on. So it's like there's some kind of I don't know. I've not seen an issue like this before. Power in. Impressive cable management. It's not that great. I literally just threw this thing together. I wanted to see if, like, how it was functioning. Okay, so that turned only one on. How long was I working on this PC? I don't know, probably like an hour and a half. Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it at all. I'm plugging the lights directly in, and it's not doing anything. It's not changing anything. I think it's just a garbage controller. Because watch, I'm gonna show you real quick. So I'm gonna pass the cable through here. Okay, so this is the top fan. This fan, right up here. So if I pop this one off, these fans are gonna turn off. So now I'll take the top fan, plug it in here. Lights up exactly as it should. So it's the controller that's having an issue, right? The controller is a problem. So there we go, the top fans work. That's probably the best thing. Let's see, I'm also building a PC now, not a high-end, but budget, waiting for GPU RTX 3070. Well, 3070 is still a great card. Like, that'll be great for you. What CPU are you gonna run? Okay, there we go. All right, let's do a couple tests real quick. Make sure that the CPU is running, or the computer's running properly. Okay. Okay. And this last one right there. Okay. All right. Oh, that's right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna need those. Is everything working? Yeah, for the most part. It looks like the RGB controller's behaving a little strangely. Oh. This is not a Wi-Fi motherboard? That's strange. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna shut it down. 16, no, it was a 1080. 1080 giveaway. You now have a gaming laptop with an i7, 16 gigs, and a 4060. Nice, that's a good machine. It's a good machine. So this is a non-Wi-Fi motherboard. Hey, Crafter, how are you? So now we have to put this in. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we've got that. Do I have my own PC? Yes, I do. Oh, Mama, I'll come to bed right now. Let me just put this last final piece in. I got everything working. About to do something you never done before. Maybe not the usual. We're getting unpredictable. I'm cooked. My wife is here. Okay. Need a GPU sag situation. You guys are gonna love this. Well, I like turtles all over. Okay. So, why don't you guys come over here and I'll show you the issue. Okay. Okay, so right back here, we have a Wi-Fi card right here. Hear that? That's the GPU fan hitting the Wi-Fi card. This is a little 3D printed storage tray. Okay? Watch this. No noise. Perfect. We're getting unpredictable. All right. There we go. Just pop these guys right here. That's one. And that's two. We'll slide that back there. Just like so. Yep. All done building. All right. Let's set you guys down there. The AIO did not work because it is Corsair, and Corsair hates their customers. So if you buy an AIO and you don't buy a hub, you can't use it. So in order to get the AIO to work, I'd have to go buy a Corsair hub. Honestly, the front fan's RGB not working because of the crappy hub that's in here. Maybe I go buy one and we throw the AIO in here, but honestly, I don't know. Okay, let's see. What did she wanted to use something. Yeah, just set you guys up real quick. Everything looks like it's working. Okay, cool, there we go. And then what did she say? Armor designer. There you go. Perfect. All right. And problem is now solved. This is the program that my wife was struggling to get running right. And now here we are with it running buttery smooth. I should go into the BIOS and install Windows. Why? Windows is installed. I already have a drive that has Windows installed. It's good to go. So there you go. Yep. I just kept her M.2. Took it out of her old system and dropped it in this one. Makes it super easy to fire it up. All right. Well, that's that, everybody. So we will see you guys later. It's midnight. I'm going to go eat peas. My wife should be much happier. All right, you guys. Install Fortnite. I probably will never install Fortnite. I'm not a Fortnite kind of guy. All right, you guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with me. Stay salty. Deuces.